Fragments. Grigori, aka Mad, recaps last week's session. Let's go.
So, upon meeting Grigori von Wolf again, the group had been given a number of potential options in terms of quests, and they had a brief discussion with Grigori, who had some slightly extra insights into the locations around this place, and it ended up being that they decided they were going to go to Cass Island, which was a long abandoned ruin. I believe the extra information was that it was protected by a sea creature known as the Avank, that had been conveniently not mentioned by the person who was giving the quest. And so the group managed to commandeer passage upon a fishing boat owned by a brother and sister pair, Kate and Blackavar. And they sailed us up towards Cass Island, where with magical means Quint was able to get us from the shore over to the island itself without us needing to go into the water. He flew us over there and there was no issues.
Much to the DM's chagrin.
Yeah. We got there and we found a ruined keep. We bypassed the entire keep and headed straight towards the main area by accident. But we came across a campfire that had traces of Fae, and then we headed down some stairs from this open courtyard to some big double doors that had been sealed off from the outside with 3 big beams. When we went in, we was like, oh, lots of bones here. Let's go and explore the rest of this place first, where we found nothing other than a key for a door, which we'd managed to bypass by climbing over a wall. And then I don't think we found anything particularly of note in the keep itself, did we?
You
Found a
found
note.
a plant.
Oh, the note! Oh, yeah. So the note that I believe it was Quint found, that said it was an exchange between somebody from Cass Island and somebody from Victal.
Yeah, urging them to
Send help.
come back into the mother's arms and stuff.
Oh yeah, like saying that Mother had been seen in the town. Mother had come through the town or something like that, and I think this.
And she wept.
Yeah, this prompted more information that Mother, when she's seen out and about, she is in a more of a spirit form, a beautiful, unnaturally beautiful spirit, I guess. But anyway, we went back down. We went back down to the double doors, and shortly after we were walking through the ruin and came across a large hall and was ambushed by a huge Gran Bullet, which was a most fearsome and well-balanced creature that nobody would ever debate about. But it was taken down, but not before it nearly killed both Whisper and Quint. And then
Fortunately, Quint's damage off the charts.
Off the charts. It was unbelievable.
It was off the charts.
The state that Whisper was on.
Grigori's
She was in a
damage
hole.
also was not on the charts. It was off the charts. You, Quint mentioned as well, you found an interesting plant as well up on the top of the keep. The
In
Weaver's Water Lily.
I did.
Excellent. And yeah, Vanessa got a very cinematic kill shot on the Grand Bullet as it was attempting to. Oh wait, no, Quint.
And then there was the unknown mysterious voice that
Oh.
said we put on a great show fighting the Grand Bullet.
There was some ominous voice laughing at our efforts.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Which
And then Vanessa
only
killed
go
it as
well.
it fled down the tunnel. She blasted its mind, as she often does, daggers into the head, because she's a sicko. And that brings us to here. Recovering in the immediate aftermath. I think Whisper just got a heal off at the end, I think. And
Yeah, I
brought
did
people
a
up
prayer
little
of
bit.
healing and got us all.
But yeah. We are back in it. Over to you all. Give yourself inspiration, Grigori. Oh, you already had it. Never mind.
I gave it
Thanks,
to myself
everybody.
just then.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Vanessa staggering out of that little alcove, I think, that she was in. She sort of rests against the back of the wall, and we heard the voice after the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did it sound like it was human or belonging to any kind of species at all, or
Sound like a human voice. Yeah.
humanoid rather?
And you all heard it as well. It wasn't like some little ominous head ringing, you know.
Did it sound like it was coming from further in the ruin?
Yeah.
Or it was just kind of everywhere?
Yeah.
I look to Vanessa and look over my shoulder. Well, it seems like someone's playing games.
Yeah, I tire very easily with games. Question, what was the name of the family who lived here?
Well, the island is Cass Island.
Yes, Island.
I don't think you have a surname.
I've got
Okay.
a couple of first names. The letter
Yeah.
was addressed to Relson, and it was signed Amanthel.
Yeah, you haven't got like a family name yet.
And they also mentioned Edvin partway through. But yeah, no surname.
Would I know the predominant? No, it's
A
that.
long
I know
time,
it's a
yeah.
long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who goes there? Show yourself. Can I take a few steps forward?
I'll stand up from the pillar where I was sitting while I was praying. And just start moving forward cautiously.
Quint's gonna have a quick look at this dais. Should there be anything upon it?
Yeah, there's just a little skull on a breastplate that's been sat down there at some point, and a skull sort of awkwardly propped on top of it.
Who am I?
It looks like it's obviously been put there in some sort of honour or memory, but it doesn't look ritualistic. It just looks like it's been propped up as a bit of a sign of respect.
Well, if anybody needs a breastplate, I know where to find one.
Can I use my mage hand to lift up the skull, sort of examine it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Does it? It looks humanoid, I imagine.
It does. It looks very human. And
Does it look like
lifts.
there's any cause of death, or?
Well, the breastplate has several large puncture wounds in, so if the skull belonged to the person who was wearing this breastplate, that could very much be a reason why.
Is this boulder big and kind of like blocking the way?
No. You can see a chunk. It looks like it's probably been flung out as the Grand Bullet burrowed out quite forcefully at some point. It's only a couple of feet high. You can just be stepped up and around.
I am going to just do a standing jump, and you see Grigor just bounce across here with very little effort. Little bit of tile scrambles behind him. Take a little.
Yeah, that's easily within his horrific jump.
This was not walled off properly. I believe there should be.
I've changed it.
Have-
We're not
have you
Crucible.
moved
We're in my thing.
Okay, that's fine, because I was like, oh no, it's all wrong. Okay, cool, that's fine then.
There's like a ledge. It's like a half wall leading to
okay.
corridor. But yeah, you find yourself in a room with several old, weathered beds.
I'll look over to her. The coast is clear.
Do we need to follow you? Because this is something of a large gap.
Well, there's somebody here that looks of interest, and I'll put my sword to the corpse. Is there anything stand out about it?
It's missing its hands. You can see from the skeleton. Very, very skeletal, and the hands are gone. The robes are clearly torn and ripped in many, many places. Why is Lucas shaking her head looking?
Whisper's just gonna say, I'm sorry, did you say somebody?
And I kind of like lean back, and you see my head like kind of like pop around the corner. Once upon a time. It looks as bad as the rest of them do. All bones, I'm afraid.
I'll look back down the other hallway and then back over here. I guess we are going this way then?
Strength in numbers, I suppose. And what do we do to check for jumping? It's strength,
athletics.
right? Athletics?
Oh, I mean, you can do a standard jump, but you're...
Well, I've got a jump calculator if that helps, and apparently I can do a long jump with a 10-foot run-up that's 8 feet.
Jesus.
So...
But also, is Vanessa making a point of jumping?
I don't know, am I?
We've already seen her spider climb up the wall.
Why wouldn't you spider climb? Is my thought.
Oh, I didn't. I thought it was like an open sort of thing. Okay, yeah, no, I would just. Walk.
There's walls you can.
Yeah.
And a ceiling. Yeah. Plus, Quint can actually only jump.
Over.
Yeah, Whisper's
Amazing.
quite strong, isn't she? Oh.
Just bounding. Look at that.
So what is your? So hold on. Your jump distance from standing is what again? Your strength.
It's related to your height and strength score. What's your strength score?
The strength score is 10.
10.
Okay, that's better than mine. What's your height in feet and inches?
That only really matters for a high
5,
jump, though.
6.
Yeah,
Why
you can
is
do a long
none of
jump of
my
10 feet.
stuff in here?
It's a 15 feet jump, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you want to go back down a hole.
Whisper.
Perhaps we could use a rope.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can use a rope!
Given that you didn't understand what we were doing, would you like to burn your inspiration to not have done that thing, and we'll take it a different way?
Yeah, you know what? I would love that.
Okay, I've burnt your inspiration off to undo that hasty. Because I feel like your character would look and know maybe I can't do that. I wouldn't try and jump between buildings. So talking to Quint as you see Gregorian Vanessa go ahead. What do you plan to do?
Let me see if I have some rope or something that'll make this easier. I would prefer not to waste any more magics when this place seems quite dangerous. I'm afraid I don't think I have anything of use. Perhaps we should wait here, or does it look like this is the way?
There's steps down.
Does it go on?
There are. I kind of like tell him, make way, and I kind of like back up a little bit, and I'm gonna kind of like just like a hop, skip, and a casual jump over. There's just no effort to him, and kind of looks Quint up and down, looks at the gear that he's carrying. I could probably get across with you. On my back.
Oh, you're not gonna carry me like a baby. Okay.
Is there enough? You said it was only low, so can I do a running jump on this one? So I was just casually doing standing jump. Can I do a running jump?
You can do running jumps, yeah. I'm just trying to work out how that's affected by carrying somebody, because your weight effectively then increases a fair bit, doesn't it?
So a character can carry up to their strength score times 15. So my strength score.
What's your encumbrance level?
Does it even? Is that even equipped? Anything on this? So yeah,
Okay.
270 is what I could carry.
My weight plus my equipment would be about 215 pounds.
215 pounds.
Mhm.
Wow, you're carrying a lot of gear. I've
Yeah.
currently only got 51 pounds of gear, so I'd be under my
Cool.
carry
Okay.
threshold.
Yeah.
So can
Over he goes then. Zip.
I way whisper up. As I kind of like run and jump, then I'm like looking. It's like wasn't sure for a second there. You're a little heavier than I thought. And then the same again.
It's the books.
To be fair, this is where Whisper benefits from. Doesn't believe in carrying goods.
Yeah, I don't have hardly anything on me, so
I look at Whisper. Can I hold out a hand? Join me.
yeah, I'll accept your hand.
I kind of like hold on to her, kind of hands around me, back up. Just, I mean, my long jump is 28 feet with a 10-foot run up, so
That's
all
fine.
day long. Just swing her down. I kind of step up onto the bed and like foot on the ledge and look down the stairs and have a little listen and a smell.
While they've been doing that, I just wanted to look over the corpse, see if there's anything distinguishing about it.
So you can see that this individual, clearly died a violent death. As I mentioned before, you see the hands are missing from the skeleton, and there are dozens, if not hundreds, of small tears and punctures in the fabric of the robe. This figure possibly died to many, many small stabs, and their hands are gone.
And no equipment for armor or anything like that.
No. They were robed in the... It doesn't look like it's a nightgown or anything. It looks like it was scholarly or wizardly robes until they were perforated.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen for down the stairs.
Yeah, peering, you hear nothing from down the stairs. You do hear... Oh, okay, well, Vanessa's just opening doors. So you do... you do smell faint, fresh cinnamon. And as you then hear Vanessa open the door, you smell it stronger for a moment. Vanessa,
I see something in there.
Yeah, Vanessa, you opening the door, see a bare room. In the middle is a metal pole driven into the ground with a chain coming from it. And with a small manacle around the throat, you see a small creature, dejected and chained up. A figure that you immediately recognize, Ugugori, as being a Fukas.
Sorry.
Did it have that kind of same animated quality as the other stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Ugugori.
I'm presuming, is it looking our way?
Not immediately. It sort of just slowly turns, and you see that it looks a little wounded,
Okay.
and generally in ill health.
I will do a quick knowledge check to see what I know about Fukas.
Make it with advantage.
Arcana or assuming Arcana.
I feel like for you it's history, unless you have a very bad history. It's where you live and part of like your folklore.
I think that makes sense. Cool.
Cool. So obvious. Oh, so that was me typing it as Quint. That's how it's pronounced. How it's written. So obviously, day to day, were you to ask anyone in Victal, you'd get the churned out fair all evil, fair all trickster. So always assume, that's what people say about any fae. You would know that these are regarded as fairly common tricksters, mostly harmless, but not particularly predatory unless they're in like packs. Mm-hmm. They can kind of get sort of caught up in a bit of a pack hysteria when they're in numbers. They often can be not bargained off, but they can often be placated with food or magical trinkets. If you would know that some people who have to go ranging out into more difficult areas will sometimes take a handful of little trinkets, just like miners might carry a pocket full of gems for a Zorn in case they bump into one. There's kind of just offerings made, but yeah, this one is obviously a captive.
I relay that in an abridged version.
You should be careful. Fey creatures can be very deceptive.
And as it sort of sat there, it speaks in a slow, low, almost like droning noise that you can't make sense of, except for Whisper and Quint, who recognise the words as being Sylvan. And it's just a quiet, constant, a bit of like just a typical prisoner's lament sort of thing. And then as people begin to file into the room around it, it sort of blinks and looks up at you all.
I mean, there is a moment where I'm already kind of like sword up in the air, just walking in like ready to just kind of cleave it. For me, it's a fae.
Yeah, Vanessa puts her hand to his chest as though to be like, hey, calm down for a bit. Not yet.
Howl.
Can I ask it in Sylvan? Something?
Of course you can.
If I hear it talking in something I understand, I'll respond in kind and just say, how did you come to be imprisoned here?
And the eyes just sort of give the eyelids are on the side. You don't even see them until just a couple of times.
Will Smith shows up, chases it off the building.
And it just sort of looks between you and back to you. It's like, speak again.
How did you come to be imprisoned here?
How did you learn to speak? You speak.
Yes, I speak.
Others grunt. You speak. What a treat.
I'm from the forest.
You do not smell of the forest. He smells of the forest, for he is not of the forest. Pointing a finger at Grigori. But you do not smell of the forest.
My forest is very far away.
Does your forest fear iron as we fear iron? Sort of tugs at the manacle around its neck a little bit.
No, but we do fear men. And I'll just glance at Grigori.
I was imprisoned.
By whom?
Men.
Are they here still?
They are not here.
What was their purpose for leaving you?
For leaving me.
This seems...
They put me captive here, but they did not live to see their purpose fulfilled for me.
What happened to them?
My brethren.
But your brethren did not free you?
They did not have the means.
And if I were to free you from this snare, would your brethren be a threat to me?
This is agreeable.
Okay, I'll step forward and go to undo the iron.
Whisper,
Nice.
you can't trust them.
I will kind of like sword towards, like not overly through, like, what are you doing?
I'm freeing the creature from the snare.
Why?
His captors are gone, and he will surely perish if left here.
And
And I think that is a cruel fate.
then perhaps we end his life more quickly. Less cruel.
Perhaps not while he is chained.
Perhaps he can be useful. At least while we're here.
There was much discussion between you both.
Yes.
Perhaps it is privy that we are all informed of what it was you spoke of before you release him.
He was merely
Really?
asking why he was captured here. He didn't say much of interest, to be honest. He did say that we wouldn't be harmed by his brethren if he were released. But I don't believe that we can trust these creatures.
So if you share a common tongue.
I'm still reaching towards the iron.
I will put my blade gently on her hand. I do not know you well enough, but what I do know is that you speak the same tongue that they do, and now you would like to free it. From my perspective, I am sure you see that this does not look that good.
I do not know this land, but I do not have anything against these creatures. It has said it will not bring harm to me.
Must be true then!
In all
Faye has
fairness-
never been known to lie.
In all fairness, there is a point that Grigori makes. Did it say harm to you or to us?
It said to me.
Well, that is a bit concerning then, isn't it? Get assurance that it will not harm any of us, and we can negotiate from there.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
look
crouch down.
straight at Vanessa and just say, I am not sure I would be able to negotiate on behalf of this one. And just looking at Grigori.
I mean, you're only a few meters away, so I'm presuming it's not like.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not whispering or trying to keep it from you. It's just like, hey, you are asking an impossible task, right?
I will crouch down and I'll kind of like grab the shackle around its neck and just kind of whip it around to me. Do you speak my tongue?
Ah, a return to grunting. It says in Sylvan. So yeah,
I cannot understand
it says something to you.
And I look at Quint.
It says you speak in grunts. I don't think it understands the common tongue.
Where's it from?
Creature, where are you from? He says in Sylvan.
The forest.
Here, the forest.
It is a long way from the forest? How did it come to be here?
I generally will act as an intermediary for this.
Yeah. I was brought by men.
Those men are no more.
Indeed.
Those men are the bones outside.
Indeed.
Do you know much of the fate of what happened to Cass Island?
Blades in the night.
Whose blades?
Each other's blades. All men do is war.
Sounds like fey trickery.
I've heard much of this fey trickery. It is a comforting lie.
Are you done having the conversation I just had?
You did not seem to want to be as forthcoming.
Well, we all have our secrets. If you wouldn't mind, and I'm going to reach for the lock again. Or clasp, or whatever it is.
I'll address the creature directly and say, assure us that if we release you, that no harm will come to my companions and I.
He tilts his head for a moment. Agreed.
I'll undo the clasp if I can.
Degrees to the terms. I think that's as good as we'll get.
Yeah?
Kind of release the chain.
In my experience, in my reading, it seems that creatures of such a type are often, their word is binding, so perhaps this is indeed the truth.
Yeah, you're able to undo. You can tell from the wincing that it's clearly painful to be on this thing. Yeah, it clearly couldn't touch it to undo it. But as you release it, it sort of springs up and just shudders for a moment and rubs at its neck, and it's like, very good.
Do you know more of this place? Of what else might reside here, or what else, or where we might find the tomes that we seek?
I do not know or care for your tomes. I was brought here and held here.
For what purpose?
Research or harvesting. I suspect it would have ended with my liver. But
I see.
You have done as you say, and so I give you my assurances that you will not be harmed by me or my brethren. And around the room, sort of fading into view, you see there are a couple of others that had little sharp knives behind you all, and they all just slowly withdraw from you all.
Thank you. I will turn to Vanessa and just say, iron? And point to the chain. We carry iron with us.
Yes, well, what I've gathered, and perhaps you might know more about this than I do, Quint, but iron is a deterrent for Fae.
Yes, I think that the steel of our blades would, affect them as much as any, but I don't have any powdered iron or anything like that. Or I also don't carry manacles and the like.
Seemed he was unable to remove himself from the clasp, despite it not being locked.
Yes, I think it almost burns them at the touch. It must have been very uncomfortable to be stuck here for so long.
Hmm.
How many more of these? You said there were like other little creatures with daggers drawn.
Yeah, there were like 3 who just sort of faded
Okay.
into view from up a shadow behind you, and then they withdrew over to the far wall and all just seemed to meld to shadow again.
Have they been watching you for a long time? I address Wafukas.
I think he went.
Yeah, they
Oh,
went.
The others.
Oh, well.
Ah.
idea. Oh, there you go.
Phased out of reality.
What is Grigori's
Problem
countenance
with the thing.
right now?
His disposition, his current demeanor.
Yes. I would like to vibe check you.
He's wishing he got the chance to chop all of them in half.
Do you seem especially bristly?
I would
Thanks.
say pensive.
Okay. Do we go down the stairs or through the door?
Oh, I would say that we should try and clear this floor before doing anything else. Do you think it
We
would be
probably
worth
should
our
have
while
asked it
to...
what else was here.
I don't think it seemed to know. But perhaps this chain would be useful to take with us if we can remove it.
We can,
If
yes,
you
we should
can
take
remove it. I'm
Quinn
not going to
looks
make
at
any effort
Grigori.
to do so. Yeah.
I'm gonna just kind of like wrap it round. I'm gonna just try and yank it out.
Make me a strength check. We'll say it's been made for a small faith thing. Let's say it's a 16.
Strength or athletics?
Yeah, either.
Basically, any time you do strength, it's athletics.
Yeah. It isn't like this needs to chain up the bullet or anything. Yeah, chain just rips out of the iron post. You now have a length of chain with a single manacle at the end.
And I'll kind of like pull it and then just hold it out.
Sure. Quint will tuck that into his bag, making him even heavier.
With the iron pole on the end, we can say it's basically an iron whip if you wanted to.
Oh,
Oh,
if only I was a strength character.
Oh, Jack.
endless decanter of water. I look to whisper. That's one you get for free. Let's not make a habit of freeing creatures we know very little about.
Perhaps you should not make an effort of killing creatures you know very little about.
I know enough about
Can
them.
I listen at this door before I actually open it?
I mean, you've opened it, haven't you?
I didn't open
I
it.
opened
no,
it.
it wasn't me.
It wasn't my
Setting
fault
me
this
up
time.
here.
You hear
Backdraft!
to live with this to live with this game fucking paused. You hear the sound of it creaking open before your eyes as
Yeah.
Grigori just reaches past you. I like to think you have your ear to it and he just gets the handle and opens it away from you. You hear the crackling of a brazier and see a statue of a tall bearded man holding a hammer in front of you.
Father. I will look up at the statue. Any indication of who it is?
Just looks to be, it's clearly a bit of a this has the level of detail and sort of pomposity to it where it was almost certainly commissioned by the person it's a statue of. This isn't like, to a deity or some or some revered ancestor. This was
vanity project.
Yeah, it was absolutely a vanity project of a noble holding a very fine-looking hammer, which has a lot of detail on it compared to like his clothing. The hammer was clearly important to him. But yeah, long sweeping hair and a large beard.
No.
And just as a reminder, I've got my eyes on.
I know.
No
Nothing so
chiseled
far.
name or anything to say
No.
who it was?
No.
Can I see if I know from history of somebody that hammer was very important, that was... Well, there's like some historic figure?
I feel like the histories of Victal and the cloud surrounding this place, I think I was given to you that you wouldn't have heard any hammer-related legendarium.
Okay.
I would like to just go down and peek down this hall and confirm that it was the same hall we came from.
You confirm thusly.
Boom.
For one so
I will-
small, does she often walk off on her own?
She's more than capable of escaping should she need to.
Well, usually I'm the one walking off on my own, but this is rather unique.
There is a hallway further on, or we could try that door.
Yes, listen to the door first, see if there's anything behind it. And Whisper, can you scout ahead down the hall safely?
Mm-hmm.
I will listen at the door.
You hear nothing beyond the door.
There is a silent creature inside. And I will try to open the door, but it will not open.
It is locked.
I look at this statue in the way, blocking a bit of an easy run up. Presuming full metal door on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
gonna
is
try.
there a lock pick?
There is a lock in the door, yes.
Yeah, could I try and pick them, or
You
Well,
well,
can.
unless Quint wants to?
I mean, I'll try and give it the old Grigori heave ho first, but I'm not overly confident.
Yeah, it is a sturdy-looking beast. It does not give way to your heavy shoulder.
Bits of rubble and plaster drop down there. Nope.
Quint, do you mind if I see your tools?
I'll hand them over.
And then, yeah, I'm gonna try and pick the lock.
Okay.
And that's just dex check, right?
It is.
Ooh.
With your if you are proficient.
Let's say 8 total.
Alas, earwax. It does not pop open.
Wait, it's
Yeah.
9,
Well, they're
actually. It's a 9,
struggling
actually.
with the door. Could I stealth and go sneaking up to this hallway?
Yeah. So you don't pass without a trace. Make me a
Yeah,
stealth
so-
check with about plus
Okay.
10 and move to where you're going to. Cool.
My God.
Show me where you're heading while they're messing with that door.
Yeah, I'm just. The boundary's not letting me move. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I just kind of watch her creeping off. Intrigued, fascinated. I find this creature fascinating.
You see this corridor stretches off ahead, down a couple of stairs, and you see what looks to be a branch in the path ahead, Whisper. Some 40 foot or so ahead. How far are you going to stray?
I'll stop and listen. Are they still messing with the door?
Yeah, by this point I think Grigori would have barged it and Vanessa would just be failing to pick it. Our timelines will converge again in a second.
I'll creep ahead a little bit more to the fork to just see where it goes.
Okay.
What am I seeing on the floor?
Scattered papers and blood. Old dry blood.
Fresh? Oh, okay.
And then, yes, scorched graffiti or runes burned into the floor.
Can I smell or hear anything up here?
Make a perception check as we pan back to the others. So at our failed door busting, what are our next steps we're looking at?
Am I
Why?
allowed to try it separately or no?
You can make an attempt at it, yeah.
I will see.
Yeah, and Whisper, you smell nothing but the rain.
Wait,
Yeah.
why did that? No, it looked like I rolled 2 dice, but it's only rolled 1.
Yeah, that's weird. You managed to succeed where Vanessa and Grigori failed. It's
When he hears the
close.
click, he's
You
like,
do hear it.
yes! I mean, I think it's unlocked. Grigori, maybe you should go first.
And I kind of pause. Maybe we should wait for.
Where's she gone to?
And I just point down the corridor.
I will come slinking back, though I am stealth, so I would like to imagine that you don't see me until I'm just about on you.
Make it. Well, we've made your stealth check. What's your passive perception? It's not gonna be 21, is it? Your passive, imagine, Quint.
No, I am
Yeah.
looking for her though. Can I
That's
roll?
yeah.
She's
I
not
imagine-
invisible.
Yeah. You get
not
a
invisible.
yeah. It's our Curse of Strahd where we combined it with invisibility. Yeah, you all looking for her and casting out for her. She suddenly sort of steps out of the shadows near the wall and is about. You were looking sort of keeping like a 15 feet ahead of Cohen, and suddenly like, oh, she's 5 away. Oh, how did she slip past?
Quint's like, oh!
What, Homer scream.
Sorry, I was just wondering where you'd gotten to.
Well, there are quite a few hallways up that way that branch off, as well as some scorched papers and strange markings on the floor.
Oh my god, I don't know what has done it, but when you did the scream, your token for me, I don't know what had happened to it, but it looked like this, and I thought you had a version of your token screaming. Especially being zoomed out where I couldn't see the detail.
Like he's got like one of those Discord ones where it's just
Yeah.
that emoting. Wow.
Yeah. So it's back again now. Oh,
It's the
there's some-
center of the template.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
It's my pass without a trace. Okay.
Okay, I will bob my head in.
As the door opens, Vanessa, you have the briefest moment with your eyes when the door opens of a small glowing rune on the floor. But when the door is opened, there's just a rune behind it, which immediately just goes with a little crack of pale blue light. It was like a flashbang. Nothing immediately seems to have happened to Grigori, though. But you see, Grigori, just this blue, almost firecracker on the floor, burst of light when you open it.
What school of magic?
Evocation.
Uh-oh.
Destroy stuff. Oh no.
So you checking a little chart on your wall.
Yeah, it's Abjuration is protect stuff. Illusion is make stuff seem like other stuff. Enchantment is make things do stuff. Evocation is destroy stuff.
I look down, and I presume I'm familiar enough with different enchantments and stuff like that, but I'm like, look at that.
Yeah, you'd know you triggered some sort of ward that had been set there deliberately.
Are there any remnants of it that I can
No.
look to investigate?
No, it is spent.
Oh, did everyone see it?
Yeah, just Vanessa had that moment as the door opened where her eldritch sight should have seen a root, but mid-door open. I was waiting for the word, because sometimes you're like, I'm slowly and carefully opening the door. I feel like Quint Zia is the sneaky door opener. So you find a room that just has a stone sarcophagus rested up against the wall and has a large it's like casting light like a brazier, but looking at it almost seems to be liquid in it. It's still crackling like flame and is casting off a similar sort of light, but to peer into the basin, it looks more like it's rippling like liquid. You feel heat. You feel heat coming from it though, like flame.
Vanessa, what was that magic just now?
Some sort of evocation spell. It was too brief. I couldn't make out what it did or what it was. Usually it's those kind of magics are used to destroy things or to bring something, and nothing was destroyed that I can tell. So we should probably be on guard. Something might have been summoned.
By the way, the statue, is it of a dwarf dude or just a dude?
It's a dude.
Okay.
It's originally from a dwarf adventure. So the place is a little dwarvy, but it's a dude. In fact, now I'm making him extra tall. He's a Goliath.
This changes everything. I look at the water. I look at the sarcophagus. Well, in for a copper, in for a gold. And I will stow my blade on my back for a moment. And
grave robbery, a wise course of action?
we're here for answers, aren't we?
Oh, I thought we were here for books, to be honest.
Good place to hide books. Keeps them dry.
He just kind of stutters as Grigori goes about what he's doing.
And I will put my hands on the sarcophagus and try and heave it open.
Opens easily. There is a skeleton inside. In almost a noble evening wear. It is equally filled with small puncture marks as the robed body you found.
Ah, the small puncture marks. Perhaps that does make sense. Perhaps it was the Fukas and its brethren. Fukai? What is the plural of Fukas?
Fukyu.
What a quandary.
But this one was put in here. Doesn't seem like it was part of the same attack, and yet the same wounds.
I suppose there could be all manner of beasts in here. We should keep our wits about us.
We should continue on.
I will have a look through, kind of sword, kind of like pull away the rags a little bit, see if there's any jewellery or anything hanging around.
Falls forward to the floor.
Ah!
There is a gold ring on one of the fingers, like a wedding band, but nothing else.
I will bend down and take the ring.
Do we see this?
I didn't sound like he was hiding it.
I don't think Quint would say anything. He just looks and it's like...
You had a wife, you know.
I look at any inscriptions or anything on it?
Nope.
Just a plain band, gold band.
Non-magical, Vanessa.
Thank you.
I inspect the walls and see if I think anything might be false or tricksy.
Yeah. Make me an investigation check.
Have a look around the sarcophagus too, I suppose.
Yeah, what are you particularly looking for with the walls and sarcophagus?
I would suppose whether there might be like any buttons, or whether there might be false walls that swing open or something.
Okay. We're 22. I give you going around the walls. It's a bit difficult to search around the brazier because there's just the amount of heat that comes off it. I imagine Vanessa might not have even lingered there this whole time, unless she loves it, because it is like being in a sauna, being stood near that. You find no sort of doors or anything that swings around on the walls. You do notice that the sarcophagus is up entirely flush against the wall. There is no gap behind it. And with a 22, you do feel that perhaps there's enough give behind the almost like felt back of this that were you to rip it, it depresses a little bit. Were you to rip away whatever materials at the back of this sarcophagus, you might find something.
I like how Vanessa was going out of the room, and then as the description carried on, I think I shall go back into this room.
Yeah. I mean,
There might be something
Tomb
behind
raiding, yeah.
this sarcophagus. Could you try and move it out of the way, or pull it from its moorings? Should that be necessary? I'll try and assist, but I'm not all that not as strong in the arm as you are.
Does it look like there's anything to gain good purchase on to try and pull it away? Ooh, something got 200.
What was that?
It looks like once the felt is moved, it looks like there's just a wooden panel that can be slid.
Right, an hour in?
Yeah, we'll normally go a little bit longer, Jack.
yeah, I mean, sooner than me, like immediately.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, I will kind of like put a foot to it. Does it feel like there's a bit of flex on it, on the wood?
He's gonna Grigori it.
I'm just gonna boot straight into it.
A Kool-Aid man right through.
No, not really. Not really.
The Japes, it's Strahd.
Yeah. I do you know what? If I'd had Strahd in this world, yeah, I would have put it in. I had the bullet in there for a second again. Yeah, the door opens up into what looks to be some sort of armory, shrine.
I will look on the floor first for any runes.
You don't see any, and Vanessa, being stood behind you with Eldritch Sight, does not see any.
Okay. I'm gonna step in.
And this clearly looks to be a little bit of a trophy room armory. There are a few different old weathered, battered and clearly more ceremonial pieces of armor around the room, but in obvious prominence is a large set of almost brass-looking armor. Quite Dwemer from Skyrim sort of looking in its design. And on the anvil in front of it, there is a very, very fine hammer that is immediately recognisable as the one from the statue. And Vanessa, your eyes do detect magic on the hammer and on the armour.
I
What type
detect
of armor
magic
is
on
it?
the hammer and the armor.
Sorry, both of you didn't hear either what you said then.
Vanessa said, like, I detect magic on the hammer and the armor. I said, did you say what type of armor it was? You said what it looked like. Is it like...
Full plate.
So it's full plate?
Yeah, full plate.
Well, it's
Yeah,
too-
hammer and armour.
too bulky for me, but this equipment is certainly enchanted. Do I know with what?
Not that I'd identify.
All right, I will pull up my magnifying glass and start identifying.
Yeah. The hammer you identify as being a +1 light hammer. The armor you detect as being a full plate armor of cold resistance.
Cold resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Why would whoever needs this need cold resistance here? And she'll ask that to Grigori since he's the one who's from here.
The winters here aren't particularly savage. They are mild. I have no idea. To fight some type of fae, perhaps. The people here were old, and so perhaps they knew things that we did not. Perhaps it was why they were interrogating the Fukas.
Well, I can't do much with this hammer. I don't know if any of you want it, but there doesn't seem to be any traps on it, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be any kind of traps, so if you wish to take it. And, is Quint here? Yeah, Quint. This armor, it's much too bulky for either of us, but perhaps worth trading in when we get back to town.
Indeed. My only concern will be getting it back there.
On the way out, then.
Sure.
I thought you were against grave robbing.
Who, me?
No, look at
Well,
Gwent. Yeah, yes.
Listen.
Wow.
Yeah,
No point letting such things go to waste.
Just whisper.
While they are investigating that little armory, and I am basking in the warmth of this extremely warm thing, could I attempt to take a little, leaf out of all those herbs that I purchased from all the alchemy sets and, just drop it in the water and see what happens?
Yeah, it immediately burns up, even just before it touches it.
I pick up a pebble and drop it in?
Sure. You have a pebble sinks into the font.
That seems fine.
Well, you
Can
can still
I-
see, yeah, it doesn't melt or anything.
Can I take one of
Stick
my
your
glass
fingers in there.
vials that I purchased and try and dip some liquid out?
Well, tip some liquid into it.
Hmm?
Yeah, what liquid are you tipping into it?
No, she wants to get
No,
liquid.
yeah.
How do you... talk me through how you intend to do that. As in, physically. Without your... Are you accepting that your hand may touch the liquid? Or do you have tongs on you?
I mean, well, yes, I would hopefully have tongs as part of the alchemy set, but, you just take it in and you dip in a little, I'm not looking to, fill it up, but just, dip a little bit into it.
Yeah, but it's kind of like saying you want to dip
Yeah.
into magma, so be
Were
If
careful.
you,
you-
need, if you need help, I've got my mage.
Oh yeah,
Just
right.
ask.
So we have a mage hand to trivialize this, but going forward, were you boiling a huge pan of oil to deep fry chicken? Would you be comfortable dipping a vial of glass in with your hand? I suspect you may not.
Okay,
However,
me, Luca,
we have.
I would
we have-
absolutely do this.
No, you
Whisper
won't.
might not.
You.
I'm dumb enough
You would
that
get
I would
close.
be like, yeah, I'm
and be
just
like,
gonna do
you'd be
this.
like, oh, fire indeed.
I
Oh.
know. I
However,
feel like it'd
we
be
have
like
mage hand. We have mage hand, so yes. The vial dips in and scoops it and has it in for about a second before it cracks and shatters.
Okay.
Yeah.
all over your hand.
You sprays, yeah. That's what you get. The mage hand, obviously,
You
is
say
fine.
this, but I have multiple scars on my hands from oil.
From getting
Burns.
oil out with a glass. And
So
she
I'm
still thinks it's a
serious.
good idea.
We're learning things today. Okay.
So, yeah,
I
it
will
just
abandon that
shatters.
idea then. And I'll step back a little bit, but I'm just enjoying the warmth, honestly.
Okay. So we're leaving the armor, maybe on the way out. Are we taking the hammer now, or are we leaving the hammer? Just so I can put it in someone's inventory if we are.
I was going to suggest that we take it.
I mean, I will happily kind of like heave everything off and carry it further out. You know, if we're going back, if we're heading back that way, then there's no point coming back here for it. Might as well leave it in the corridor out there.
If you're happy to, you can
Yeah.
certainly probably take the hammer with you.
I just watch as Quint walks away with hardly anything. I have to carry this full suit of plate mailer. I will kind of like pick up the armoire that it's on. It's kind of like a standard, kind of like kind of weaving it through the sarcophagus. Like, when you carry a box that's a bit too big, and you have to hit a doorway and like, fuck it. That's what I'm like.
Yeah. Yep, I've put a marker outside. Loot pile, we can say, is where you just dump it all, unless you want to move it. And yeah, a pile of loot is assembled.
I also, without getting too close to this, but kind of have a look at this.
You can stick your fucking face in it, apparently, and not get anything.
I do not want to get that close, but from a magical perspective, can I get, from examining what it looks like, can I get a sense of what it might be, or what enchantment might be powering it? Have I heard of this kind of flaming hot light liquid before?
From enough observation, it looks to almost be something that is a constant mix of a continual flame and alchemist's fire.
Huh. But on a liquid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fucking leave that be. I think it's gonna I'm gonna get burned.
And even with kind of like walking with all this, I feel like my sounds are dampened as I am close to whisper. Now, just place it down.
Yeah.
And I take the wedding ring out and throw that on, just on the floor.
Just rested on top.
This way was where I saw the strange markings on the floor. I wonder he really hates me trying to move right here.
As
There's a reason why.
As you're walking, Grigori, your feet sink in once again. Well, as Vanessa did before, a patch of stonework crumbles beneath you, and a hole begins to open up. Can you make me a DC 14 Dex saving throw, please, Grigori?
I cannot.
As it opens, you sort of stumble, and the rocks open up for a second, but then all the rubble on the floor sort of comes filling into the hole that opened up, and you find your leg trapped and crushed by rocks. You will take 1d6 plus 2 bludgeoning damage. Oh, you take 8 bludgeoning damage.
Did both of them bullet?
Yeah. Takes a moment, you can wrench your leg free, but a painful experience.
Watch your step.
And I look over my shoulder and ah! Got a little bit of a limp. It's just all standing on runes and rock traps for me today.
Home Alone.
Careful, I'm looking for paint cans as we hit the stairs.
There's a whisper coming up on the fork that you identified.
Are these the markings you meant? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
This is truly a maze. Should we investigate these first?
I assumed Vanessa would want to look at the papers.
Indeed, I do.
Recognize any of the
Vanessa.
markings? Is there language or anything?
You not immediately. And however, it's now 1:45, so we will break for 15 and then carry on, and we'll find out what you know about these markings. So yeah, let's take 15 and then we're back. So, scorched on the floor. You detect no signs of magic, Vanessa. However, Whisper and Quint, you recognize that the words are again Sylvan. And they say,
Never going to give you up.
they say, vengeance.
Vengeance. It says vengeance.
What language is this?
Sylvan, the language of Fey creatures. Can't say that that bodes particularly well for us. Although, these words weren't directed at us to begin with, of course.
That creature you said mentioned something about the men who were here killed themselves in battle and blades. I don't know much about the Fae, but I have read about their proclivity for enchantment. You think that possibly they compelled them to do that?
Certainly one explanation. I would be very surprised if Fae weren't involved in some respect. After all, if whoever was living here was willing to chain one up in iron shackles, I wouldn't be surprised if one that freed itself wanted vengeance. Plus, as we know, the Mother's protection from the Fae on this land was withdrawn from the the island. It certainly doesn't bode well.
What is this? Sorry, out of character. What is this little blue thing down here that I was standing on top of?
Just a sconce on the wall.
Okay. So yeah, while they were looking at the words, did anything come up in the papers that I was looking through?
They look to be library books, so they've all been sort of torn and ruined. There's probably a couple of, book spines here as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So they're not like letters of note or alchemical. Yeah. They just seem to be pages torn from books. You see a couple of words that are clearly fiction. You see a couple of pages talking about crops. You see a page that is obviously the personal, the journal of a child. It's just a very simplistic page, but writing about a day spent playing in the grass and fishing off the island. Just all sorts, just like a library has been torn up.
I forgot I get advantage on perception checks for hearing or smell. I should keep that in mind. Do I smell anything, DM?
Quint heads off around the corner.
I also have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. I should keep that in mind as well. Are we off?
Are you rolling for sniffing?
Yeah. Well, I've got sniff as I'm walking around.
Something doesn't sit right.
Where are you, Grigori?
Why'd you pause the game?
You smell, Grigori, just that dank, stale air of the amount of corpses in this place, it probably smelled unbearable a few decades ago. But it is now just that stale dust that has a reassuring sensation that you're probably inhaling some vaporized flesh and bone with every breath. You're going to get the abattoir version of asbestosis from being in here. You're going to get meat lung. Vanessa, scurrying ahead as you get to the fork in the corridor and the doors in front of you. Looking to your side, you see, stood in the corridor, 2 large creatures, bipedal, who both turn their heads in your direction immediately and just
Oh no.
and reach out towards you, and we're going to do combat.
Ness doesn't know what these are, but well, she might actually know what these are.
I don't know what they are.
Well, Vanessa's going to do combat because we don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, imagine you're going to... So we'll do initiative, but we'll ignore anything before Vanessa or them, but when you imagine that you will hear them when that happens, so...
Oh my god.
So, Vanessa, you act first. You see these 2 creatures.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Vanessa goes first? Oh, is Vanessa reacting first, you say?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? How tall are these ceilings?
About 10 foot.
10 foot. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my action to climb up. So that's 5, 10, 15, and then I'm gonna use my rest of my movement. So that's 35. Math's hard. 20. Okay. And then I'm going to yell out to Whisper, run! And I'm going to keep climbing on the roof, on the ceiling, and I'm going to use my action to dash. And I assume that like all of this is covered in ceiling. It's not
Yeah.
open.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, everybody hears Vanessa say run, and she comes flying through. Quint.
Scuttling, really.
Scotland, yeah.
I'm gonna start running, Jesus. 5, 10, 15,
What's your movement?
20. I presume Vanessa dashed.
She did.
And I will ready an action to throw a firebolt.
Okay. And it will dash itself.
Firebolt.
You may firebolt. And it misses. The creature just twists away from it. In fact, it can go to there. And you see as it approaches you, Quint and Whisper, there's almost like a thickening air air, like a bubble around these creatures that just was their weird aura. This one does make it up next to you, Whisper, and it is going to reach out and attempt to grab you.
I thought that was going to be a meme, but he genuinely just said reach out and grab you.
Reach out and grab you.
Oh, why hasn't it?
Ooh, dark urges.
Why hasn't it prompted that? Okay, Whisper, can you? Oh, it did prompt you. You feel this creature try to probe your mind as it reaches out these clammy, long fingers, but obviously have a frog-like bulbs on. That is all. Oh no, it can. It is also going to swing its club at you.
Did it not dash?
No, this second one didn't. It was exactly
just
enough
this
to
one.
get to it.
Oh,
Yeah. It swings this huge club that seemed to come from nowhere. You didn't see any club on its back, but as it reaches behind, it suddenly has one, and it swings, but it misses. Top of a round. Whisper, it's you.
Okay, I'm gonna do the thing you hate. And cast
What?
spiritual weapon.
And ask me to do it all for you.
Operation block due to missing
Let's
user
have a look.
permissions. Yep.
Yep, it's there. Am I going to do all
Thank
the
you.
attacks for you as well? Where do you want it to be?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, right there in front of me. Yep.
Okay.
And attack the guy that just attacked me.
That's targeting you as well. That's odd. Okay, what HP? You're on 35. So set yourself back. Why hasn't it rolled the damage?
Yeah,
Is it prompting you for it?
nope.
Okay, so it's 14. So I have amended that off the creature. Anything else from you?
Yes. I will also let loose a little thick flame on him.
Oh, and the other one. Okay.
Is that not the one that attacked me? Oh, that's
No.
fine. Okay. I thought
Okay.
that it looked like that's where the club was coming from, but that's it for me.
Okay, Grigori, you're up. Vanessa, you're next.
I will move in with my weapon at the readies. I'm gonna go in normal.
That hits.
Then 1d6 lightning. And then I will go in for my second attack. Do I notice this bubble?
Yeah,
around me as well?
yeah.
Okay.
Also hits.
Oh, actually. So I re-roll the 2s on the re-roll the 2 on the slashing damage. So it takes an extra point of damage.
Amazing.
Done. Anything else from Grigori?
Yeah, as my bonus action, can I use my thing to make it shove me backwards?
Oh, can it shove you, can it?
I can shove anything, but if it's only whether you want to, you can choose not to resist it.
Sure. You shunt.
And then I will take another step. So for everybody else, they just seem kind of, I'm stepped and like my feet are placed firmly, and then I just kind of slide backwards on the floor, and then I take a step back. And that is
Okay.
me. Do I know anything about these things?
No, you don't recognize these. Vanessa, you're up.
Yeah, boy. I'm gonna go ahead and target this one here since it seems to be a thing. And I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and Mind Sliver it. Why not?
I'm gonna say, you sure you don't want to talk to these ones, Whisper? Perhaps that club is just some strange cultural greeting they have. And I'm just grinning.
I'm not even gonna look
Succeed.
back.
It succeeds the saving throw.
Ew, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and oh, don't do that. I'm gonna move back out of sight from these things. And that's my turn.
Okay. Quint.
Quint will move closer. And sword in hand, he will strike at it with a booming blade.
Which hits.
And then second strike with a regular attack.
Will also hit.
And he will draw his other sword with his left hand and hit it again.
Just your pissy little offhand.
Mm-hmm.
Also hits.
Come on, sixes. That's okay.
That was like on the corner of a 1 and a 19. I don't know if it was that way on your guys' screen, but
I guess that's your bonus, I assume your
It is.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll stay there for now then, I suppose.
Okay. The creature will, first of all, it's the one in front of you. It will reach out and try to grab you. Can you please make me a DC 13 Charisma saving throw, Quint?
there we go. That's what I like.
So,
Oh no!
clammy fingers wrap around your wrist, and you feel your mind being probed. The creature knows you. Quint, I'm going to just look at your character sheet for a second. And I'm sending you a Discord DM, Quint.
Clicky-clack, clicky-clack.
Yep, sorry. I sent you a message. And then it's going to hit you with a tammer. As you feel your mind being probed at. And it's in the invasive nature of knowing that your true self is being laid bare before this creature with its horrid, leering face. It swings and misses at you. Next up, the other one.
How's it looking in terms of wounds?
One of them's looking. One on the left's looking pretty wounded. One on the right is looking fairly unbothered. Whisper, make me a DC 13 Charisma saving throw, please. Cool. Again, you feel that attempt to probe at your mind and shake it off, and then another swing of this club that seems to appear from nowhere comes out, and you miss it once again. That is them. Whisper, you're up.
All right. I am going to figure out how to target myself again. I'm just going to mutter a few things, and small forms of rabbits, dark and purple, are going to start swirling around me in the air, and I've cast Spirit Guardians on myself. And I would like to exclude my party members from the damage.
Does that include Gregory?
It does for now. This time it does. So yeah, and then I am going to... Oh, my sword got done. Will you have my sword attack the guy that it's next to, I guess?
Are you good, neutral, or evil, Whisper?
Neutral.
Oh.
Wait,
I feel like she's neutral, but I'd like her.
Yeah, I am neutral.
Okay, thank you. This is important information. And then you want the sword to make an attack?
Yes, please.
Nat 1 on the sword attack. It misses. Remind me, what's the duration on your Guardians? It is...
10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. Anything else from you?
No, not now.
Okay. Gregory, you see you are surrounded by this swirl of dancing... You said we were rabbits?
They're small, like, darting rabbits through the air.
I am
Okay.
gonna step in, kind of like slide via Whisper, and I'm gonna come in on this dude. Reroll the 1 on the slashing. So that is an extra 3 damage on that. Normal slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll make my second attack on him as well. Seven.
Hits again.
Still standing, yeah. So
Yep.
I am
Another
going.
2 to reroll.
Say again. Ooh,
Another
yeah, I got a
2.
2 to reroll. Nice. Ooh, yeah. So that'll be an extra 3 points of damage. Still standing? God damn you. I am going to take a step away from this dude.
He will swing.
Mm-hmm.
So step back just for ease. Let me just check. Yes, he... Oh no, because it forces us. Yeah, it's okay. If a club comes up... Why won't it let me do that? Oh, it's gone to 0. Oh, it did go to 0, but for some reason it didn't kill it. But when I tried to make it attack, it said it can't get incapacitated. So, yeah, you killed that one, sorry?
Nice.
That's weird.
Did I kill him on the second shot, presumably?
Yeah, I think you killed him. It must be that you killed him with the adjusted damage, but when I minus the damage, it didn't tell me that it put him to 0. So, yeah, that one is kill.
So as I kind of like step in, just kind of like crisscross, just kind of like splooge through this thing, I'm going to step around and then, again, as my bonus action, shift backwards, and then take an extra step.
Okay.
Wait there.
Are they glowing?
Or what glowing?
The enemies.
Yes.
Huh.
Vanessa, you're up. You hear the sounds of much violence down the corridor.
Yeah. So that one was killed. I'm gonna go ahead and step out. And I'm also on the ground. I forgot to say I climbed down off the ground. So there's that. Move over here. You can see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and this one doesn't look hurt at all, right?
A couple of small wounds.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and chill touch it. Are you kidding me?
It misses.
I'm sticking it right here.
Okay. Quint. It is you.
It is. Does it feel like the going's getting tough?
It does.
It does. In that case, I'm gonna start to back out of this situation. I will throw a fireball at it on my way out.
It hits.
And I'll run away.
Yeah. It doesn't feel... As you see it hit and it connects, it feels a bit futile. You feel like it hardly did anything to it. It seems unfazed and not to be going in your favour.
Quint's just says to himself as he's running by Vanessa. He's like, "We've got to get out of here. This place. It's just wrong." And that's all he's gonna do.
Cool. Okay.
Do I get the
Next up.
sense that he's under some kind of mojo?
Same kind of mojo that you were under. Because you come running out saying, I gotta run away.
Yeah, he just seems to be wanting to get distance.
Okay.
Next up is the creature. Whisper, make me a DC 13 charisma saving throw as it reaches out and touches Faith. Strong-minded. But then, yes, it is going to step up and make a target.
Damage first.
Target is 20 feet away. Oh, it still has Grigori targeted. And yes, it remains in the Guardians, so it will need to... Wisdom
just takes the damage, doesn't it?
saving... No, it needs to... Let's have a look. Let's make a wisdom saving throw. What's the DC of your spells, Whisper?
16.
So it fails, and I suppose creatures jump and flit around it and are colliding with it. You see... Sorry, do you know what? Bloody WhatsApp on my PC will not close these days, so the stream will now have some ha-ha noise. As the small rabbits come careening and smacking into it, you see its wounds start to slowly close up a little bit, and its grin grows wider and wider. Let's have a look. So that is roll 3d8, which is your spirit guardians. You see a great many of its wounds seem to just close up in front of you. And it swings the club.
Jim, when
Yes.
I hit it, this is out of character, but, well, and kind of in character. When I hit it with Sacred Flame, did it seem fine or harmed by that?
The same will have happened before then. Yeah, shit. Where are we? Scroll. Yeah, I forgot to heal it with Sacred Flame. So that's on
Okay.
me.
So I've now noticed this twice.
Yeah.
But when it's Frith's blessing, sort of magics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yoink.
The club hits
Can I
solid.
barbs it?
If you have a reaction and you can... Oh, can you still see? Yeah, you can still see her. If that's in range, then yes. You have a reaction to use. Remind me, is that a reroll or just damage being non-crit?
They must re-roll and use the lower roll.
Okay. Take off those barbs. Oh my god.
Oh,
What just happened?
He used a spell to force a
I-
reroll, and it was also a crit.
But what just happened? Why?
Club takes you solid in the stomach, and then just the club vanishes. It's having to reach for this club each time. It isn't keeping it in its hand. But yeah, it's a heavy blow to the gut. That is all it's going to do, though. Top of a round, Whisper, it is you. I can't believe that.
FYI, you have advantage on your next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Hopefully, it should do it automatically.
Yeah.
So yeah, Whisper to you. Gogora, you're next.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually gonna mutter something, but it'll be in my native language, so none of you can understand. And then I am going to target him, and this will be the first time I've cast this. So it's a different looking kind of magic coming out of me.
Is that the first time you've ever done Toll the Dead?
I feel like you've cast it before.
If I have, it was like once.
Okay.
In like a moment of desperation. Yeah. Okay. So if he could make a wisdom saving throw, or do I
If
just
you
take
target
damage?
him and do damage, it should prompt it already.
Okay, cool.
If you had targeted him, which you possibly... Yeah, you have.
It's taken damage, right? So
Yeah.
okay.
So click damage and it should prompt me.
There we go.
Bing bong.
And that actually... That is necrotic, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
And this would be
seems
a
to...
much different type of magic than I normally cast. It would be dark and purplish.
Yeah. And it seems to really, really have an effect on the creature.
I will re-mutter what I said before, and then if you could,
Remove the...
do my sword.
No, we had to do that a weird way last time, didn't we? We had that effect for several days until I worked out how to get rid of it, but now it is done. So yeah, the spell effect drops off. The creature looks disappointed. Anything else from you, Whisper?
Hit it with my sword, please. Bonus action.
That? Oh, spiritual weapon.
me and Alex were both like, what? What is this?
Yeah, sorry. My spiritual
Hits.
weapon.
Noise.
Thank you.
When it tells me the damage in a moment. So why it seems to be... Oh, fuck me, man. Let's have a look. What is the damage on your spiritual weapon? It was a nice big complex. It was a nice big complex thing, but it hasn't done it. Anyway, while Gregori's
Whiz.
D8 plus whiz
1d8, yeah.
plus what's your
Plus-
whiz modifier?
+5.
10. Okay, Grigori, you're up. Vanessa, you're next.
Cool. Okay, so I am going to start stepping in, and as I'm coming in, I say to Whisper, move. And as my bonus action, Whisper, you will just feel a presence against you that is kind of like forcing you to just move back slightly, like they're shoving you. It's up to you whether you want to resist it or not.
I'll actually look at you slightly appreciatively, because it was like, man, I'm not moving. So, okay, do I get shoved back?
5 feet, yeah, near the square.
Oh.
And then I kind of like, as it's all one thing kind of in front of it, and kind of running across with Big Bad.
It's a hit.
Woo! And I get to reroll that too. Nice, extra 3 damage on that.
Tell you how you kill it.
Yeah, boy! It's just all in one, just very elegant move, like coming at her. Just the smile's gone after I've seen like the critical hit that it did on her. And just kind of like not even concentrating, it all just kind of happens. She shifts out as I'm just kind of running in and straight across its wide smile. I can see it's like smile so wide, it just straight through its mouth and the top of its head just littles off.
Excellent. I have also just done what... No, actually. I'm going to speak to Monkey about that later before I make the change in your weapon. He's got a way that might fix it, but there's complications. So yeah, the creature is killed. Its head described fussily. And there's piles of blood on the floor.
Kind of as it drops, I just look to Vanessa and say, "Get him!" and point at Quint, who is still kind of like mid-run, I imagine. Or did he? Was he running away and stopped? I'm not sure what his reaction was before.
I think I kind of ran to the end of the corridor, turned around long enough just to try and help someone, and he was pretty much preparing to carry on running away. Are they dead?
They are. And I pick up like the top of its head, kind of holding it up.
I will look at you and just nod and say thank you, and then I'm going to go up and again mutter what sounds like a little prayer over their bodies. While fucking healing myself.
What's going on? Vanessa will look at Quint, sort of assessing him. Are you all right?
I'm unharmed, but I think we should get out of here as soon as we can. This place is dreadful.
Curious you didn't have that same kind of energy earlier.
Well, earlier this place wasn't filled with giant frog monsters.
I mean, unless there's more, it's no longer filled with giant frog monsters.
It was also filled with giant gem-covered bullets.
That is true, yes.
So what about these provoked you so much?
Just deeply unsettling, I suppose.
Insight check.
Place, it has a way of getting to you.
I just kind of look at it and just give it a boot, and it's like just a guts and blood that. Don't think we need to be much of a concern for you now. And give him a on the shoulder.
It is weird, these creatures were healed by Frith's blessing. It
Yeah,
makes me
strange
wonder
things
if my
indeed.
god favors them as well.
Doesn't favor them that much, or not much of a god.
When the other two are sort of like out of earshot, Vanessa will actually go up to Whisper. You were doing something at the end there. darker magic than I've seen it used before.
It is magic from one that serves death. I use it, but sparingly.
Be careful with it.
Keep.
They were going to kill us if they could.
I am listening out for as I'm approaching this corner.
Make a perception check.
And please delete my spiritual weapon.
You hear nothing. The corridor stretches out in both directions. Doors as visible.
I look around to the group and put my hands on the double doors. Shall we?
Well, hold on. Don't you think this is a strange layout? These 3 corridors that all lead to the same place? Perhaps there are further secrets. And you'll go and try the walls.
Make me investigation check. You do an in-depth probing and testing of the walls, but nothing reveals itself to you.
Then he goes back to sticking as close as possible to Grigori.
Look at the double doors and like, not going to lie, these look quite important and impressive. And then I point my sword down where I can kind of just catch a glimpse of it. Then there's that room there. Perhaps we check it out before we go in here.
I agree.
Whatever you think. Are these doors particularly ominous looking?
2 doors normally means a bigger room. Bigger room means capable of holding bigger creatures. Not much more than that.
Oh, I don't want to go in there then.
And I'm just gonna get here. Just try and open it. Oh, open it.
Yeah. You see more bodies
rooms?
laid out in mats.
Yeah. I look. Anything on the floor in front of me?
No. No. Yeah, you see many age-weathered, rotten skeletal remains in here. Most wearing very, very faded, warped leathers, rotten, spoiled cloth, couple in like tarnished chain. All again seem to be covered in small puncture marks. You do see one of them lying over here. Despite the wear on the rest of their clothes, their boots appear immaculate and are glowing.
I can see them glowing.
Yeah, the soles of the boots are glowing.
Those good old boots of light.
What kind of magic is emanating from
Fuck
it?
off, Jack. Nothing. Enchantment.
But what kind of magic?
Enchantment magic. With School of Enchantment.
I will kind of pick both the boots up with the feet and bones still in them. And I kind of like look at them to Vanessa with them glowing.
And they have quite chunky heels on them.
Yeah, they do.
Ooh. Are they like wedges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanessa will whip out her magnifying glass and speak the word identify.
And you identify these boots as being boots of trap avoidance.
These would actually be quite useful for you, Grigori. These aid in avoiding traps.
And given you've identified them, these exquisitely tooled leather boots boast a 2-inch high heel and magically adjust to fit the wearer perfectly. The boots have 1 charge but renews at dawn. When you fail a saving throw to avoid a trap whilst wearing these boots, you can spend to choose a charge to activate them. Once activated, the failed save becomes a successful one and the boots magically blast you 10 feet in the direction of your choice. You must save on a DC 15 dex save or fail or fall prone on landing.
I don't tell him all that, but I will say that these are helpful in avoiding traps.
I'm always up for another pair of shoes, and these do look like a fine pair. I think it only fair if you're comfortable with me having these, then whatever spoils the armor and hammer bring in back at Victal, the spoils go to the 3 of you. I will have no part in it.
Well, you would look sensible in this, if nothing else. Do the other 2 oppose, or...?
Sure.
And I have no need of such footwear.
I will add them to your inventory, Grigori.
Do they require attunement?
They do.
Oh, then in that case...
Hold on, do they? I feel like they should, but we didn't write it on.
Then they should.
Look at what they do. Let's have a look.
Attunements
Common.
generally feel like more powerful stuff than the minor magics that we were making.
Let's have a look. No, we've not got them down as. Yeah, a one a day thing like that, a 1 a day situational. That's fine.
Cool. Then yeah, I kind of upturn them and empty the feet out, all the bones, give them a little, and yeah, start throwing on my new boots.
Is he even taller now?
So tall.
He is. I mean, he's got that's like a little 2-inch platform.
Doesn't affect any of his jumping mechanics in terms of height because it isn't real height.
Does it actually not have a heel until he needs to avoid a trap and the heel launches him backwards?
Well, go, gadget. Don't worry. Okay.
I don't think these are set as being items. I can't seem to equip them.
They might be loot. I'm not.
Yeah, they are. They've gone into loot.
Yeah, I've got them as loot, not an equip. That's fine because we're not attunement anyway. So yeah, we can. I can tweak that.
Cool. Put my shoes on him. Feeling a bit more confident. Wish we'd have found this room earlier. And now it's really like one of those supermodels where I've got all wobbly feet and I'm fucking walking out.
If you don't think it's a good idea to go through the double doors to the south, we could always check what's up to the north instead.
I'm fine with whatever's your preference. I'm gonna have a little pick through some of these bones, give them a little bit of a flick with my my greatsword. All just like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Is there like remnants of food or anything in here?
No.
No. No bowls or anything?
No. That's what we're doing. Whispers hovering in the doorway.
Quinn's just standing there twiddling his ears.
I always get nervous whenever we're all in one room that something will sneak up on behind us. It's just my prey sense, man. Just
It's
Fireball.
Curse of Strahd sense.
Well. I will.
Shall we file out?
Yeah, I'll sidle past Whisper. Oh no, she's going up front still. Okay, I'll allow it.
DM, out of character, or sort of in character. Did those things actually leave behind blood?
Yes.
Yeah,
we did. What are you doing, Whisper?
what is on me? Silvery barbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're.
What's the duration on that monkey? It's a minute. I guess it's a minute given the back, but
Yeah,
the thing is, yeah, so that will have fallen off by this point.
I will, with a glance down at your new boots, say, would you like to enter first?
Always. Oh.
The doors are locked. These look less sturdy than the other door from before. These do just look to be fine wooden doors.
I look to Whisper and gesture for her to kind of step here. Yeah.
Did I get my lockpick? Oh.
Athletics check, Grigori.
Yeah.
Say DC 14. Oh, to beat it. Door bursts open.
And I've got to say, DM, I am very impressed.
With what?
This room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I saw the double doors. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it opens up into a old, dank. From obviously what you can see, it is obviously in the dark. Your old dark vision in it. I know there are some lights on the map, but none of them are lit. Yeah, it is a filled laboratory, it would seem.
Yeah,
Perhaps we
Vanessa's
can find
kinda
those
going crazy right
stones.
now.
Quint.
What'd you say? Yeah, things that are like obviously where you see leaves and fruit on the map is obviously fucking dust now. There aren't like fresh sprigs of herbs.
Quintus is like can't contain himself.
fucking Vanessa and Quint are racing like Crystal fucking Maze here now.
Every time he stops to like look at what and it looks like an interesting scroll, he's like, "Oh, but what's that?" and running over to see something else.
Can I start slowly looking for an alchemical manifest, findings, theories, and recipes that Cassandra would want?
Sure, I imagine that's part of what you're all going to be doing in here. So yeah, so you're
Well,
just
they're bouncing around though. I'm very much just slowly looking for these.
Okay, so you're looking for those. Quint and Vanessa, how much was in and out of character of your frantic looting and Toys R Us attitude towards...
I mean, Vanessa's way more cool about it than Quint was, but internally it was probably the same amount of enthusiasm.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm 100% just trying to find things that I think are cool.
Vanessa, make a deception check to conceal your childish glee.
Right,
Grigori was shaking his head. What's he doing in here? Just pogo booting around the room.
Just running around, just like supermarket sweep where they just...
Just throwing it all in, finding the giant beer can.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I'm gonna have a sniff for cinnamon. But I wanted to check when we went in the room and you said that they were glowing. I'm presuming now they're not casting a light source off me.
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool. Okay, so yeah,
They're just like light up sneakers.
I'm walking around having a...
Yeah, you think there's something special to him gliding around. He's got Heelys on.
Yeah.
Oh, so that should have been with advantage. 1 second, roll again. Yeah, no.
So yeah, as you're looking around, Grigori just goes... His nostrils flare to the size of plates.
See if there's anywhere in particular in this room that has...
So there are a lot of smells in here. To everybody else, it's just like dank, warped wood and old paper. You have a bit more of a sense of you can pick out a couple of the herbs that probably were in here before they came to dust, and maybe the smell of a faint old smell of fish that maybe was used in like an alchemical component. You don't get any cinnamon though. To everybody else, it just has a bit of a musty old library smell.
Okay. Then I will. I'll just look around this area in general, and then I'll spend all my time just in this bit.
Yeah. Okay. What have we got here? Cool. Okay, so let me read. Many rolls have been made. Let's have a look. 4 minutes busted into the room. 2 minutes ago, Vanessa hiding her glee. Perception check a second ago was Grigori doing his big sniff, and then Grigori investigating his corner. Okay, what's everybody else up to?
I am very slowly and methodically and carefully just searching along. I'm taking my time with it.
Okay. So, let's have a look. In order. Grigori, Vanessa, Quint, and well, Whisper maybe one as well. You've done so much talking about your search, but if you're the only person who hasn't rolled an investigation check.
You always say until I tell you, don't roll the dice. Also, I was hoping I could convince you that my slow, methodic method could allow for advantage.
Are you
my search?
Are you a turtle person? No, you are a rabbit person. You've done it hastily and sloppily.
That is such a stereotype and a harmful one.
Quint, you find yourself going through an area where there are quite a few. There's plenty of ruined and dried out vials and things where, you can see, even though it's sealed to time, the contents have just congealed or mostly evaporated off. You find a section with quite a few potion bottles of various colour and size that have survived. They've clearly been sealed better than others or have had more inherently magical contents. So you do identify. There are some potions here that are still good. Vanessa, you find a very fine sort of purple silk pouch in the drawer of the desk that you're looking at, and you see that inside the pouch there is another pouch that is wrapped tight in wax paper, which has string around it. There is very clear sort of it invites caution. Clearly it has been triple wrapped, but from feeling it, there's a lot of give. It's almost sandy what's in here if you were to probe it. So you have something there.
Okay. I mean, I'll take it.
Grigori, you find a few vials in this area. It looks like there was clearly some sort of, not ritual, but some sort of recipe was being followed here and was abruptly stopped at some point. Off to the side, you see 2 large bottles or flasks have been set off, and their appearances and the marking on the bottle matches the notes in front of you, to the point where you can identify that one of these flasks is Alchemist's Fire and the other one is Alchemist's Grease. So there is one of those available there.
I'll pocket them both for now, but I'll kind of announce that I've got them.
I will add them both to your inventory. Whisper, there are many books in here. There's a couple of 100 books in here. For the sake of not going mad with this session, we will say that they are all unimportant alchemical tomes. However, going through your comprehensive search of them, you do find some books. You find books that are very similar to what Cassandra described. A collection of alchemical tomes, faded and dusty but very comprehensive. Whoever originally penned these was clearly meticulous in their work. These are clearly the books that Cassandra indicated she was interested in. A cursory scan of the books shows that the contents are detailed theory, testing and research into various potions. There is also a section detailing idols and their importance to the alchemical process, but the notes have clearly been written with the presumption that the reader is familiar with these idols, so there is no further explanation on what they are. I will add alchemical tomes to your inventory, Whisper. Quint and Vanessa. Quint, you have 3 potions. One of them is a very warped, almost like multiple chambered sort of bottle with a slightly glowing. It glows at the same amount as those shitty little stickers but you put on a child's ceiling that has stars or dinosaurs on. They don't cast any light, but it itself is noticeable in the dark. A golden liquid. The other 2 are both green liquids in different shaped bottles.
I will scoop them up and take them over to Vanessa, who I think may be able to identify them. Actually, identify?
I think you can do the harmless sip test, can't you? You can sip a potion to identify it without using it to effect up. I think it's an official. I think it's a DMG rule, which always seems bullshit to me.
I think it's during a short rest, so there's still you have to wait.
Oh,
around.
is it?
I believe so.
I'll take them over to Vanessa, who I know can probably identify them.
No, take a little taste test. A little tipple.
I'm a little bit scared.
Take a drink. If they are brought over to you, it seems to me, I'm not interested in getting in a. Oh, go on.
No, go on. Sorry.
I'm not interested in getting in a fight about it, if not. But I rate that 2 of these are magical and 1 of them are not. So your eyes would probably detect that 2 of them are magical and 1 of them is not.
Yeah, I would let him know that that one that isn't. Which one isn't magical? Is it the
one of the green ones is not magical?
Yeah.
So a green one is, and a golden one is.
Yeah, I can't identify this. This is not. And she just sort of hands it off to him. But she'll take the other 2 and look at him.
Is she casting Identify on him?
She is. She's got her magnifying glass out, Lady Susan style.
Remind me of the spell slot. Does it use a slot?
It's
or
not a spell slot. I just have to be within a foot of it, and I have
Yeah.
to say a command word. So as long as I can talk and I have the magnifying glass, I can cast it.
Yeah. One of them is a potion of water breathing. The imbiber can breathe underwater for 1 hour after drinking this potion. The other one is a potion of heroism. For 1 hour after drinking this potion, you gain 10 temporary HP that last for 1 hour, and you are also under a permanent bless spell for 1 hour that cannot be knocked off.
Nice.
Debating on whether or not I want to lie about that and take it for myself. No. Yeah, no, she'll let Quint know. And I think when she's talking about the heroism potion, she'll hand it back to him and say, maybe next time before we run into any other giant frogs.
Yes, very funny.
What did I get, though?
This other one is not magical?
No, it's not. Taste test, though. See what happens.
The way you described it, specifically, Vanessa, are you keeping hold of the other potion for yourself?
No, I'm getting...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What have you gotten, you say?
Yes, what have I gotten?
You can identify that as being Dust of Dryness. This small packet contains 1d6 plus 4 pinches of dust. You can use an action to sprinkle a pinch of it over water. The dust turns a cube of water 15 feet on the side into 1 marble-sized pellet. I'll drop it. It's a bit of a lengthy one. I'll put it in your inventory. Yeah. But essentially, you can soak water into a pellet, and at some point that you want, you can crack the pellet and release other water.
Neat.
So I will put Dust of Dryness in your inventory. I will open Quint's inventory, and I will give him the 2 potions he had identified. Are you taking a break and a rest and sipping the other one, or will we just put mystery potion in for now, Quint?
I mean, I'm up for waiting, but I don't know how long the party want to spend here. So
Okay. Just remember you have a mystery potion for now, then.
we'll note it.
So yeah, that is your collective looting.
So this is primarily like an alchemist's lab, yeah? So can I look around to see if there is anything that can be done with the Weaver's Water Lily? Like any potions or anything?
I don't think, based on what we've discussed, would Grigori know that, other than just, hey, people who know herbs will pay a good price for that. Do we think that?
I mean, I have proficiency with alchemist supplies, so I've obviously dabbled with alchemy at some point.
Within here, I feel like you've fairly the stuff that you've gotten is pretty much the only stuff that's still usable and not time ruined within here. So there's no instructions for like Weaver's Water Lily tonic or anything like that.
100 uses of Weaver's Water Lily.
Yeah. Hold on. ChatGPT.
Okay.
Pretend you are a water lily. Okay, yeah. So that is the content of this room. Quite a lot for one room.
No scrolls and magical books.
No scrolls and magical books in here.
Darn it.
No diaries.
From someone named Strahd. Yeah, I mean, do we want to take a rest? As a sailing character, if this seems secure enough, at least, do we want to at least settle down for a little bit, try and get our bearings before we head back out?
Yeah, Whisper? Yeah, is that what you think? Is that what you say? Is that what Whisper says?
Sorry. If you would like, we could sit for a minute.
Maybe 30?
30?
An hour?
No.
Maybe 8?
Give or take.
Certainly the most interesting place we've found so far. Go on.
Can I just do like a quick search to see if there's like any hidden entrances or, I want to make sure that this is the only way in and out.
Maybe investigation check.
I guess if we're kind of like idly searching and flicking through books and stuff, like, could we do that during a short rest?
I'm rolling like pure ass tonight.
You are rolling badly today. Let's have a look. Yeah, a 5. You find no. You're confident that you find no hidden latches, compartments, bookshelves that swing open into other rooms. Yeah, you feel like this is secure. In terms of taking a rest, I don't think we want to get into the mechanics of resting while we're looting rooms, because then it just feels like, well, we searched 3 rooms in a row. Did we just short rest in this dungeon while we were exploring these through 4 rooms?
We'll just, it was more a case of, are we just going to sit on chairs for an hour? Or would we be just like, kind of flicking through stuff while we're sat in here? If we are taking an hour, of course.
I mean, reading is like a light activity, if we just want to flip through and sit and talk with each other.
Toby, see what you talk about your finds?
Yeah.
This potion is this one. I've now got several potions in my inventory.
I'll pull up a chair. Do we rest?
Sure.
I'm gonna drag a chair over to the entrance and just kind of like sit here, keeping an eye and an ear out through the door.
Yeah, you sit. What's everyone doing during this hour? Whisper.
I'm just gonna curl up. I'm not gonna really nap. I'm just gonna curl up on this little pillow. Because it's nice and enclosed back here, and there's a rug and a pillow, so it just seems soft and cozy.
Vanessa?
I'm gaining some hit points back, but other than that...
Presumptuous that we get the hour.
Other than that, just sitting at this desk, going through random books, just seeing if there's anything of interest, but there isn't, so...
Okay. Quint?
I would probably wander around a bit and address Whisper and be like, Whisper, do you have a family? Brothers and sisters and the like back home?
Not anymore. I did. There was a disease that struck my clan, and not many survived.
But you were unaffected?
I managed to survive, yes. I was a healer in my clan. What about you? Do you have family back from before you appeared here?
Oh no, I've been raised ever since I remember by my master. I don't know my real family, I suppose. I must have at least a mother somewhere. That is, if she's still alive. But
Do you not consider your master your family since he raised you?
no, it was never really that sort of relationship, I suppose. I certainly owe him a great deal, but it was always clear that he was my master, and it was not so much of an affectionate relationship. But he certainly granted me many abilities for which I'm most grateful.
Did you never try and seek out who birthed you?
I've never really spent much time away from my master. He certainly wouldn't allow it. I did occasionally sneak out, of course, but I've rarely been further than the nearby village, let alone able to wander freely. Maybe one day.
And you were an apprentice.
Yes, I believe he. Well, at least what he said, that he met my mother and saw a magical spark within me and wanted to nurture it, and so he took me on as his apprentice from there.
Can I insight check him?
You always can. Quint, make a deception check.
Privately or publicly?
I think we don't do it public. I mean, even if you're telling the truth, I always get you to do a deception check, just so you can gauge how to describe your response. How do you seem to be comporting yourself, Quint?
I don't think I've said anything that Quint doesn't believe to be truthful.
Okay. When I grew up far removed from most other societies, but it sounds like you were sold into slavery as a child. Am I misunderstanding?
I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Let me reread my backstory and
No, wait. Yes, I am the mother of dragons.
Say, gosh, now I read it that way.
No, I believe the my master said that my mother was unable to care for me, and he took me on, so it was more like he was doing her a favor.
Yes. I am sorry, I must have misunderstood.
Oh, slavery indeed. Wouldn't that be something?
Yes, it would be something for a mother unable to care for their child to give them away to be raised not in a nurturing environment, but to do work for that person and not be allowed to leave unless they snuck out.
Yes. Strange.
But it's just very different from...
Yeah, there are no apprenticeships where Whisper comes from.
You know what? There genuinely aren't. So, it is much more communal, where I am from. Very close knit. All of our living quarters are together, connected. Many times the young are raised by the whole community.
Such a community, perhaps I wouldn't have ended up where I am. Although, if that means no access to the training I've received, then maybe that would be not so much a good thing.
So, close-knit communities spread diseases.
Although, Master Malindon has not always been the kindest, I suppose. Nobody's perfect,
No.
I can just imagine on the other side of the bookshelves, Grigori and Vanessa sat there both being like,
What the fuck?
it's like the trauma dumping going on the other side of the bookshelves.
Yeah. I'm probably just sat there with my greatsword, like, just dinking it on the floor, bored. Ding. Ding.
Are you bored, Grigori?
I do not like to stand still for too long, but I appreciate that it is sometimes necessary for others.
Do you view that as weakness?
No. Not weakness, just weaker than Grigori. Dink. 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 Oh, how long have we been stood here? Feels like hours already. Like 10 minutes.
As you're dinking your sword, as it gets to around an hour spent resting, as you're sat there, dinking. From down the corridor, you hear. I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but a returning dink.
Nice. Hit points. Boom. And I look. Is it coming like down from this corridor that I'm at?
Yeah.
Sounds like our comedian friend might be back. And as Vanessa's walking past, I kind of like just stand up and kind of like just loom above her and just give a shoulder roll.
Feeling rested there.
GM, can I roll my hit die?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for ruining the sensual tension. I mean, my goodness.
I know. I mean, you and Quint got your sensual tension moment.
You guys are leaving the room. Before I get up and follow.
I just stood up. Rusty.
Things
No.
always get very tense when they accuse you of being brought up in slavery.
I'm fine.
So yeah, an hour has passed. Everybody rests. What do you want to do?
Can I open this door from the inside?
Yeah, we'll see if there's a key and we'll lock me inside. It can be turned.
So I hear it like at the other end of here, right?
Mm-hmm.
In one, just kind of out of nowhere, just one burst, I blast it in one move, because I've got like 40 feet.
Yep.
Skid out to the other end.
You hear a door slam.
From which direction?
North.
What? Vanessa? Grigori?
Gregori's like, pew!
I think they're on the move. Perhaps we should follow.
It would seem that they are leaving.
I'll wait here at the end of the corridor for the other two to catch
Yeah,
up.
I wait. I heard it here, so I was like trying to see if they were here. So I'm like, I heard something up here, and then a door slam,
Hmm.
and I stop and look around. You've got what you came for. Are you interested in going further? It was only the alchemist's things that you're after, right? Yeah.
I'll look at the others.
I'll be honest. Not much is known about this place, and so any information could be as worthwhile those papers you found. Although who we tell, we should probably be mindful of.
Pragmatic part
so?
of me wants to leave, but I don't know. There's something about this voice and whoever it belongs to that has irritated me enough to want to at least find out who it is so I can make him pay.
For their annoyance, quite the short fuse.
Well, I did get crushed by a bullet.
And I look to Whisper and say, no one comes here for various reasons. Some feel that coming here is a bad omen. There's a reason that we didn't tell the fisher folk that we were coming here. So, subtlety is the watchword. And I lean in a bit further. I know subtlety isn't always your strongest point. And I give her a little smile. And I turn around, point my sword. Well, let's go and kill some annoying fucker then. I will stroll down.
Wait for me.
DM, when the others are out of sight, including Whisper, when she's a little bit further away from me, is the blood still damp?
It is.
I'm going to take off one of my gloves and just kneel down and put my palm to the ground. See what happens.
You taste the blood. It is foul. Very, almost like briny.
How does, you know who react?
Distastefully. It is not appreciated.
I thought I'd sample some of the local flavors.
Don't make a habit of it.
She'll put it back on her glove and follow the others.
Yeah, I will listen at the door.
You hear nothing.
Oh, I won't even roll. Excellent.
No. It's an empty, bare, what looks like it was possibly a mess room or just like a guard station at some point. But it is very, very bare because I'm aware at the time. And it is bare.
Very bare in here. Probably not even worth searching.
I meant to roll perception. Even worse. Fuck these dice.
You hear a crackling of a torch sconce from the side of the door, Vanessa. And find what was probably a small private chapel at some point. But now, remains have been rather unceremoniously dumped onto a very small altar at the end. Without
Does it look like
the reverence of the remains that have been placed at the entrance. This is just a dumping of...
Got it. And there's no
Yes,
like
sir.
holy symbols or no insignias here?
Correct.
Okay. And the bones look humanoid?
We do.
Heard a door slam. Came from up this way, so can't be that far. Give a side glance in here. Anything of note?
No. I'm up this way.
Hear it going through here?
Yeah. You can come in. I won't bite.
I mean, Quint's still in front of the door. Is Quint going first?
Fuck
Okay.
no.
Can I insight that I won't bite?
You mean you heard it before you could see the person? What are you?
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
fine.
dripping with like a. I will actually bite. It was just. I won't bite. Yeah, the door opens up. You see a large room. The furniture in here looks like it's been dragged in at points, but then as you can see, enormous roots and vines and other plant life seem to have been encroaching from the walls, and it all comes to a knot in the centre. Sat on the corner of the bed, legs just dangling down, is what looks almost like a small child. Feet just kicking away in the air, almost playfully, as sat on the edge and say, "How's it sound? I haven't got any weapons. See, I know what you're like, but I'm friendly."
Insight check!
I'll have it roll a deception because I always do.
Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. It's looking. I even left food for you upstairs in case you was hungry. Which I don't mind saying is wasted and not appreciated. Some of my finest loaves were in that.
I don't make a habit of eating food that I find.
Well, it will probably still be good on your way out if you were still peckish. It sort of tilts its head for a moment. No, it ain't raining. It's still good. It's not going to rain for another 2 hours, so should be good.
And what is your name, pray tell?
Pipkin. Pipkin's my name.
What are you?
I'm a squatter, truth be told.
I presume I don't recognize this kind of Fae.
No.
Can I roll a
But,
check? I mean, not by default, can I roll a check?
But he smells very, very, we say strong. The scent is strong. Not, oh, you smell his power.
Is this a categoric no or a roll to see if you've heard anything?
Being a child, make me. Do you know what? Not. I don't want to make me a history check. No.
I rolled that with my greatsword, so I re-rolled the 2.
I don't very often get visitors, and I say not very often, literally never. From the main land. Why have you come? You can't be here for me. I haven't been up to anything.
We were asked to recover some alchemical tomes. What are you doing here?
Just trying to live my life.
And you've made this your residence?
I mean, well, you iron swingers never come over here. So, the others leave me be. They don't dare tease me or anything like that. They don't really like my tricks. But it's just quiet. I keep the beast calm in the water as much as I can. When you lot fish too much, I help the fish find quiet places to breed again. I've built quite a few bird boxes up top to help the birds get by.
Did you say your name was Pipkin?
Yeah?
Is that a common name in your people?
My people? My people? There are no people. It's just me.
Do you have no friends or family or relatives? Others like you?
No, there's no others like me.
How did you arrive at your name?
I've always had it, I suppose.
No
I
one
was
gave
here
it to
and-
you?
Oh, why would you get a name from someone else? I don't remember not being called Pipkin.
How long have you been here?
Ooh. A couple of years after the old sods who lived here got killed.
Do you know who killed them?
Oh, it was her, wasn't it?
Mother?
Mother. She don't much like me, so I stay well out her way.
Why did she like you?
Says I'm an annoying little bugger. Doesn't appreciate the nuance of my pranks.
What pranks? Pray tell.
Oh, just, silly little things like when I dared go into Victal and into Kellehy. I miss Kellehy. I'd love to go up, knock on a door, and then scarp her and hear them getting proper livid.
What
They
is
couldn't
Kellehy?
see. Well, it used to be another town, but it's not there now.
Have I ever
It's-
heard of Kellehy?
No.
Where
It
was
was-
this town?
Where?
It was back down south when you iron swingers used to go there before you were all scared up into your little valley.
Were you aware that there was a fey creature locked up here?
Yep, okay, right. Count your coin. Did he go for that again, did he? Oh, it's wrapped round my neck, I can't get out!
A trick then.
Yeah, I'll check my purse, my bag. I've been got.
You all had passives below the stealth survey roll, and you were all missing 1 gold coin each.
Flex to his Asmar, I didn't have a gold coin.
Oh,
Me
it's
neither.
your largest denomination coin.
I had no money.
Which is
So,
livid.
yeah. Oh, he's a Yep. I know him well. He's been doing that for quite a while.
Does it usually work? I found that most people in this land dislike the Fae and wouldn't help them.
Oh yeah, but he'll do it to others.
I thought you said no one had been here.
Yeah, but they don't do it here. Because no one's here to do. But they'll come round here sometimes. They probably saw you out near the water and decided to come in here. He's a tinker.
So you care for this place and try to look after the wildlife and as such?
I mean, the building, the stone, I don't much care for. The people who lived here are all dead, so there's nothing to care for there, but I help the roots grow and make sure the animals have a place to be.
Sounds like you're quite the positive influence.
There was a young'un who fell out their boat last year, who the Avank was making for, and I had a word with her and told her, leave him be. And got that kid back over to the shore, so hopefully that one's doing good.
Have I heard about that?
You'll have heard that, like, there was a kid who, had some misadventure drowning but managed to get to the shore. You remember people were impressed that the kid could obviously... A kid about 6 or 7 managed to swim a good 200-300 meters. It was a bit of a... Whew, thanks, mother. Thank the mother. And we will wrap this up in a couple of minutes. We'll put a pause and make some aware of the time.
Is there anything else that we need to know while we're here in this castle? Things that we should be looking out for?
I mean, you already gave that great big beast a bit of a... So, I mean, that's what I'm surprised you didn't run. But, I mean, don't go down into the hole it came from. Other than that, I feel like you've kind of saved the best till last.
Indeed. So if we do decide to traverse the lake, this monster that you've been in communication with, would it know to not bother us with your recommendation?
Yeah, I could absolutely go and tell her to not be such a curmudgeon until you pass by.
You say don't go down into the hole the bullet was in. What's down there? We did notice there were some steps downstairs.
Did you?
Yeah, the room after the...
left side of the...
Oh, I thought you meant the whole hole it came out of. It's like, no, that's a hole. I said, I don't know. I don't give tours, but it should just loop round to near the entrance.
I see. There's not a basement, a base basement.
You're in it.
The sub basement.
No, you don't have basements below basements.
I see. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Pipkin. My name is Quint. You probably already know that.
Yo, you've been all running your mouths off to each other the whole time you've been here. I'm terribly sorry about your dead family.
Quint looks at Whisper.
I looked at it and say, which of you has a pen and paper?
Of course.
And I will kind of take it a little bit kind of like annoyed, and I'll kind of step to one side and I'm just kind of like scribbling away for a minute while everybody else is kind of having their conversation.
Are you drawing me?
No.
Oh. So I can get into a great little pose for her if you're drawing me. Someone jumps up onto the side of a bed, a bit of a Peter Pan pose.
So, I assume it was your voice observing as we fought the bullet. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Is there anything that we can do for you, Pipkin? Or are you just looking for some fresh conversation to?
I mean, the conversation's been brilliant. I can't change what I look like so many others, so I can't go sneaking into Victal for a drink or for a fumble like so many do. But I like to just sit here. If you could do me a favor, don't hunt any of the animals on the island before you head back, because it is nesting season, so a lot of the birds are here, and it would be a shame. What are you writing, sir?
And I step over and kind of like put on the bed in front of him, and I've drawn the region map that we have of Stepes that I know. I'm like, tell me where this other town was.
Oh,
Draw
you've
it
got
on here.
beautiful penmanship. I'm guessing you don't need a full sketch. Can I just make a cross?
Show me what landmarks are there so I know roughly how far.
And he just puts a little, like, where you've put your... Well, yeah, your thing from a region, you wouldn't really know. So he was like, sort of points off your
To
paper.
scale. Yeah,
He's
okay.
like, well, I'd say it's about 3 days, because the forest gets thicker points, in that direction off your paper, and marks it at, like, your 4 o'clock.
Why have I never heard of this place?
I don't know. Not to make presumptions about your intelligence, sir. But I don't know if you've read much about it, or maybe there's no books left about it.
You said it's been a ruin for many, many years, correct?
Yep.
Lost to history, perhaps?
Quite deliberately so, if you ask me.
What does that mean?
Well, they decided they weren't much for the mother. Much like this place. Much like Brigdarrow.
How do you feel about the mother, considering her opinion of you?
She doesn't like me, so I've never got much involved with her. She's tried to have me offed a couple times. Never offed. Brought to her. Which I'm not for that, thank you very much. So, it's been close calls a couple of times. That very friendly woman in the... No, I said it wouldn't. No, I've had a couple of close calls, but I've managed to stay out my way and not be trouble enough to really get her ire.
Friendly
How do you spell
woman.
the name of that town?
Which town?
The one to the south?
Kelly.
The friendly woman. I know who you speak. She resides in the Lugavina.
Well, I'm neither confirming nor denying that, but I can confirm that.
Hiding my in character, out of character glee, because in character I'm very stoic.
They lived where?
It is the witch, Ankarad.
If you've got any food that isn't just hard biscuit or anything like that, I wouldn't be opposed to. I say making a trade. I have very little, but I would certainly just happy to receive. For the information I gave you, I could happily exchange that information for a bit of. If you've got any fresh fruit or anything.
I'm pretty sure I've got some berries, don't I?
You foraged this morning, I think.
Yeah.
This is still the day you arrived.
Yeah.
This is still your first day with Grigori.
I will reach in my pouch and offer out some fresh berries.
Ooh, you picked
What
this
was
from
this
the
guy's name again?
You were quite
Pipkin.
south. You were quite
Oh,
south
shit,
of
yeah, that's
quite south of Victal. You picked these.
We were.
Very nice.
Pipkin, what is the mother like?
Everyone, all the Iron Swingers, seem to love her.
Is she like them, or is she like you?
I'd say she's like neither, but I would always, you would never catch me dead saying anything negative about the mother. No Iron Swinger will ever hear me say a bad word about her.
Thankfully, I don't believe we're Iron Swingers.
I'm stood there with a big giant sword.
And very noticeably, like not really an attempt to overly hide it, but to Vanessa in the direction of Grigori, he's like,
I will put my sword.
Why do you think the
I lean
Iron
in,
Swingers... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Go
I
ahead.
lean in to this fellow and I ask, are they like him? Or is she like him? And she'll just very subtly tilt her head back towards Grigori.
and then with no change in his actual volume at all, I wouldn't be at liberty to say.
The mother sees all. The mother hears all.
Yep. My mother does see all, and my mother does hear all. Mm-hmm. That's what I've always said.
You said that it was the mother that killed everybody here. It was her hand?
I mean, not directly. You just feel a little bit. It's starting. I feel the jovial tone appears to be evaporating, and I thought we were parting on very, very friendly terms. I'm getting a little uncomfortable here. I am.
I am uncomfortable with your lies, creature.
Yep, it's true. I have lied. Another one of my tricks, but clearly a very ill-mannered one, and for that I apologize unreservedly. It was clearly a jape that did not take the form that I thought it might.
Probably not one that you should repeat.
Agreed. In fact, I will make every effort to not make such a ill-mannered jape again.
I think the information that you have passed on should not be passed on to others. Should they come this way, and I kind of fold the map and kind of put it inside my pocket.
Forgive me. What information are we regarding to there?
I just nod my head once, and I'm gonna back up and kind of stand kind of at the back of the room, kind of like looking around as well.
Pipkin, do you know how to...
I don't know anything. I'm not having that happen again. I don't know a bloody thing. Pipkin? Who's Pipkin? I don't even know who he is.
Do you know how to escape this realm?
Well, you've thrown me with that one.
Well,
I mean, no, I don't know nothing. Yeah, you're Outworld or Outlanders, whatever. Yeah. All I know is how to grow moss.
Ever collect moss up at Brigdarrow?
Oh, no. Too much hassle. No sense of humor. I mean, Brigdarrow? Where's Brigdarrow?
Apparently Coet, I hear they have good moss.
Oh, good. Well, I've never been there. I don't know anything about it. You should have to let me know if it's good.
I see.
Pipkin, what are you afraid of? I assume he's pointing to Grigori.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. She'll look back and just sort of like cut into his line of sight.
I'm so big I still loom above it, even though I'm behind.
I can assure
I
you
feel
that
bad that I gave offence when no offence was intended.
you have my assurance that unless you provoke an attack from us, he will not attack you. And if he does, I will step in.
There's a bit of a...
I mean, I did kill that bullet.
Well, I'm reassured. I fear only that the birds and fish and insects of this island go without a custodian. So that is why I remain here, keeping about my business to myself, doing that duty, playing no pranks on Victal, and certainly never making ill-advised comments again.
Very
Sounds
well.
like a noble cause.
I've often said so myself. Normally
It's
to
wonderful
myself.
to meet you, Pipkin.
I dare say that it will do wonders for your longevity and lifespan.
Just kicking his legs off the bed.
After saying it was lovely to meet you, I'm gonna just back up and just kind of wait. Side-eyeing Grigori.
I am firmly locked on Pipkin.
Thank you for this conversation, Pipkin. You are a fine custodian, though you would probably do better to keep those other kind of fae from playing more pranks on any more travelers. It's amusing, but it could also be dangerous.
I realise now the error of my ways in that regard.
Vanessa doesn't believe him, but she'll stand up and start to follow.
I promise that I will not harm any birds. Fare thee well,
Or,
Pipkin.
or a fish.
Or fish, of course.
Or insects. I've spent great pains making this island rife with pollinators. So just try and disturb as little as possible on your way out.
I won't knowingly or deliberately kill any insects.
And I will arrange now. I will arrange in a few minutes for the Avant to leave you be.
I am kind of like, while this exchange is happening with Quinn, I am going to loosen and pull out a tooth.
Gross.
And I will casually discard it onto the floor.
Side-eyeing you, so I'm just gonna watch this with...
Oh, did you not walk out, or you
Confusion.
decided to stand?
No,
I'm
I'm
literally
literally
just-
just...
Okay.
I'm stood next to you, side-eyeing you, so you do this, and I'm just gonna reach down and pick up your tooth.
As she goes to do it, I will step on her fingers. And I just look at her like, not like stamping her. I was like, no,
You dropped something.
I did.
Perhaps you best pick it up.
Perhaps you best leave be things that you do not know about. For once.
I think you should pick it up.
It's so he can keep an eye on me later. It's fine. Put it on my bedside table. We'll have a nice chat. I'm happy if it just means that he's not going to gut me on his way out.
Don't think it'll be a chat, do you?
And I look at Pipkin. And go. And I will.
I've got a nice little bowl here. Can I put it in a bowl? Do you want it anywhere in particular? I'm happy to accommodate.
Seems rather pointless now.
Oh, well, I could have put on a little marinette for you, but okay.
And I will just kind of like take my foot off Whisper's foot and just look at her and just shake my head, and I will.
Will that grow back? Oh okay. You're going. Okay.
I'll push past her, and then stop in the doorway and turn around and say, "You are an irritating little woman."
If he left the tooth on the floor, I'm gonna pick it up.
Sure. And as I'm walking away, I kind of like look over, seeing you pick it up. Just let me double
It
check.
explodes if 2d20 lightning damage.
Yep. You will receive a telepathic message from me just in your head and say, as I said, perhaps you should not involve yourselves with things you do not know about. And I do it like almost as soon as I see you pick it up, you kind of like hear the voice. And I don't look back, just keep walking.
Is that one that lets you reply? It normally states if we can.
I'm not going to reply either
cool.
way.
Fair enough.
No, it's just more of a sending. You may not reply to this message.
Yeah,
wait.
Out of character, I know what this is, but in character, would I have a familiarity with what this is?
No, it's something that I've kept as being a here thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But Vanessa, before you leave, he'll just be like wave and lock eyes of you, and just for a second you'll just hear in your head, "She's a monster."
Say again?
Vanessa hears in her head just, "She's a monster."
She
Anyway, it was nice to meet you all.
She smiles and nods at him, but I think if he can hear her thoughts, she would sort of reply back, as I suspected.
She's not that bad, she just interferes a bit.
And yeah, as you leave, who is last out? Do you close the door behind you?
I'll look to him to see if he wants me to close the door.
If you wouldn't mind. Yeah, as you head to leave, well, I'm very, very aware of the time. Anything that you want to do on your way out? I assume that you are, well, obviously there's a loot pile there. Are you wanting to go and confirm the stairway heads how he says on your way out?
Yeah.
I confirm that it does. So we say that you carry your loot and we will start outside, ready to set back off next time?
Sounds good.
Excellent. Then that is us for this week, and we will catch you next week. Goodbye.